these areas that have large populations of centenarians, there are these 9 factors that go into it. And I hope that if I do that, I will live a very long life and I will be able to accomplish the things I want to accomplish.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good afternoon, Lisa Braithwaite. Previously, episode 836 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 11 months, 27 days, 19 hours, and 15 minutes since we last recorded that conversation.
Get out of your comfort zone. Embarrass yourself. The more you face your fears, the fewer fears you'll have. And this is what I teach in terms of public speaking, but it's really a big philosophy for me.
That was then. This is now. How are you doing today, Lisa?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We were lucky enough, blessed I would say, to be connected by Haleli. And it's so great. I got to meet her face to face. Haleli is amazing and she introduced me to her amazing friend. There were many things that were going on in your life at that time. Please give us an update. What's up?
Well, I'm still doing public speaking, coaching, and training. Since I spoke to you last, I have published a book.
Tell us more.
Yeah, the book is called Presenting for Humans, Insights for Speakers on Ditching Perfection and Creating Connection.
Oh, that's cool. All right. I like the rhymes.
Yeah, it's all about how to be a more human speaker, stop worrying about being perfect and impressing people, and how can you actually engage and connect with your audiences on a human level. That's the nutshell version of the book.
All right. So you wrote the book, and what happened after that?
What happened after that? The book is out there. People buy it. I have 21 whole reviews on Amazon that are all 5-star reviews.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's nice. Having a book for me was really more of a credibility booster, a way to get in front of more people. And I use it kind of like a fancy business card. I give it to potential clients and coaching and training clients, and they buy copies for their teams. But, I'm no Oprah. I'm never going to become a multimillionaire by selling my book.
Come on, no boxing yourself in the ring. Come on, it's like you're in the ring. How dare you hit yourself?
Boxing yourself in the ring. I love that. But really, the book is really meant for people to get a sense of who I am and get a taste of my style and personality and how I teach. And so the book is really meant to introduce people to me so that I can do more coaching and training, really, because that's what I love. I love being in person with people, helping them be more engaging speakers. So it's good. It's all good. The book has helped a lot with that.
Now, are you in Santa Barbara still?
I'm in Ojai. It's a tiny little valley between Santa Barbara and Los Angeles. And it's just a really lovely, laid back, slow, tiny little village.
Oh, sweet. All right. Well, that's great. Now, you were the introvert, and no one that's listening could even guess that you were an introvert. So how have you seen that affect your life, where you've moved past okay, I'm going to stay in my room and read my books, right? To not that every introvert does that, but I'm just like,
but you're inclined to.
Yeah, you're inclined to.
You're inclined to. That's what you prefer. So since you and I spoke last, I also have become friends with somebody whose expertise is on, in fact, perhaps he would be good for your podcast. He has written a book called Croissants versus Bagels.
Right.
But his expertise is in networking and connection, which is one of the reasons we really connected, because we were both really in this sort of mindset of getting people connected. But he has this great way of describing what I think I am. And I now, since meeting him, consider myself an outgoing introvert.
It's really cool as well that Lily was connected to you as well as Robbie Samuels, who
So you know Robbie.
Well, he's been on the podcast, yeah? Croissants versus Bagels, yeah?
Yes, and it's such a good book. I highly recommend it. It's very user-friendly. And if you're a person who doesn't like going to these kinds of events, he really lays it all out and helps you see how to make it easy on yourself and how to be a good host to the other people in the room.
Now, I know you're over 50, right?
54.
There we
I
go,
am.
54. So, how are you interacting with the conversation in the midst of everything that you're doing, that it is possible that you could die today or tomorrow? Is that something you put on the back shelf, or is that
Oh,
something you interact with daily?
that is such an interesting question. I have always been sort of, let's put death on the back burner. I don't want to think about it. I'm not interested in it. However, I lost my mom in June.
Hmm.
And not only that, but I spent about 4.5 months helping care for her in hospice. So she lived with my brother. And so I would drive up to Sacramento. I would stay there for about a week, helping my brother and sister-in-law. And then I would come home and be home for a week. And then I would go back up. And I did that for about 4.5 months. So I very intimately went through the process of experiencing my mom facing her death.
Hmm.
And, I don't like to call it dying because it really, I mean, a person isn't dying until they're dying, I mean, she was okay. Her body is shutting down and her organs aren't working as well and all this kind of stuff. But I feel weird calling it dying. I don't feel like she was dying for 4 whole months,
Hmm.
but she was definitely going through a process called, I think they called it pre-dying. And, it was a fascinating experience. It was very emotional for all of us, but it was also incredibly wonderful to be able to be part of that. And so not only did I, just go through the process of my mom's death, which brought death very close to me, but then a couple months ago, my brother-in-law, who's my same age, had a heart attack. Now, he
Hmm.
didn't die. He's still with us.
Right.
But he had a heart attack and he's my age. And my husband's family, his parents have both had either a heart attack or stroke. My mom had a heart attack years ago. Now his brother, who's my age, had a heart attack. So all of a sudden, this is becoming much closer to me. And so not only have several of my friends lost their parents recently, but several of my friends in the past couple of years have lost their spouses.
Hmm.
So, yes, it's not possible anymore at my age to keep death on the back burner. It's very present. It feels very present in my life now. And where I used to like to ignore it, I just can't. I can't anymore. It's all around me.
How does that affect how you do business? It's been over 11 years. Is it something that presses you to do the thing that is of purpose, or is it something that kind of depresses you?
I'm an optimist. I tend to approach life from a very positive place, but I don't see a lot. I don't see a lot of positivity in death
Hmm.
because all I can think of is, how horrible it would be to lose my husband. I think how horrible it would be for me to die and not have done everything that I want to do. I'm not a big bucket list kind of person. So it's not that. It's not like bucket list. It's really more like, am I leaving a legacy for the world?
Hmm.
I don't have kids. So I don't have kids to carry on.
You have cats though.
I
Like you
have
have some really great
cats.
cats, yeah?
I have great
So has that grown? Is it one still, or do you have more rescue cats, yeah?
It's two. And yes, my kitties, their names are Benjamin and Ernie, and they are famous. They are Instagram celebrities and
Sweet.
Facebook celebrities. So their Instagram and Facebook accounts are called The Real Benjamin Kitten. So
Sweet.
if anybody loves following cute and funny animals, The Real Benjamin Kitten on Instagram account will not disappoint you.
That's wonderful. I'll connect you with a friend as well. She has Sputnik, and he's like they go to hospice, and they go
Oh,
to the hospital. Yeah,
I
so I'll connect you
love
with her as well.
that.
She's in Chicago, but yeah,
Oh, I
she's
love that.
amazing
Yes.
as well.
So I personally don't follow them, but Benjamin and Ernie follow a
Sweet.
lot of animal accounts.
Yeah.
So yes, the cats are basically my legacy. I have a book that will live on after I die. But I do get a little panicky sometimes thinking I haven't done important enough things in the world that I couldn't die now. But see, I also have this plan to live to be 100.
Hmm.
I'm a fan of the Blue Zones. I don't know if you've heard of the Blue Zones. It's a book and also a program based on the longevity of people who live in these 5 different places around the world that have the highest number of centenarians and the research that's been done on those populations of people. And there are 9 factors that these areas that have large populations of centenarians, there are these 9 factors that go into it. It's not just like, oh, we go to the gym and we eat paleo, there are these ancient populations like Okinawa, Japan, where, people, they move naturally, they eat mostly plants. They drink a moderate amount of wine. They have a tribe of people who they're connected to. Yeah. So anyway, there are these 9 factors. And I really try to live my life kind of focusing on those 9 factors. And I hope that if I do that, I will live a very long life and I will be able to accomplish the things I want to accomplish.
Well, my friend, I am glad that I've had the opportunity to not speak to you just once, but now twice. And it's both motivational and inspirational to have known that you've continued on the path that you decided you're going to go after. So I do thank you for that. In closing, though, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I am just so grateful to be part of this ongoing work that you're doing, connecting with people all over the world. You and I were connectors. And I love knowing also that you've already connected with so many other people that I would connect you with. So we're on the same path here.
Yeah, it's just to meet face to face now, yeah? So
exactly.
It's the next step.
That is the next step.
All right, my friend.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. A great pleasure. I treasure. Thank you, Lisa, for being on What Is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.